I'm Dr. L. Welcome to Comet and Asteroids Astronomy video.
Hello, I'm Dr. P. This video is not a copyright of Bill 9 Science Guide. Both asteroids and comets were formed early in the history of the solar system.
About 4.5 billion years ago. Some researchers think comets might have originally brought some of the water and organic molecules to Earth, but that make up life here. The Rosetta mission, which landed on a probe on a comet on November 12, 2014, to research this hypothesis, is studying its nucleus and environment, observing how it changes and approaches the sun. Comets orbit the sun, but most are believed to inhabit the area known as the Oort cloud, far beyond the orbit of Pluto. Occasionally, a comet streaks through the inner solar system. Some do so regularly, some only once every few centuries. Many people have never seen a comet, but those who have won't easily forget the celestial show.
And you say that's a picture.
And there's a picture, there's an example. Halley's Comet as photographed on May 8, 1910 by Dr. G.W. Ritchie using the 60-inch, 1.5 meters, telescope at Mount Wilson Observatory, California. During the comet's last appearance, the head of the comet and the beginning of its long tail are shown. Short, straight streaks are background stars. Comets are icy bodies in space that release gas or dust. They are often compared to dirty snowballs, though recent research has led some scientists to call them snowy dirt balls. Comets contain dust, ice, carbon dioxide, ammonia, methane, and more. Astronomers think comets are leftovers from what the materials have initially formed the solar system, about 4.6 million years ago, billion. The physical characteristics of a comet is that it's a solid nucleus or core. It consists mostly of ice and dust coated with dark organic material, according to NASA. The ice composed mainly of frozen water, but perhaps other frozen substances as well, as such as ammonia, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and methane. The nucleus may have a small rocky core as well. As a comet gets closer to the sun, the ice on the surface of the nucleus begins turning into gas, forming a cloud known as the coma. Radiation from the sun pushes dust particles away from the coma, forming a dust tail. While charging particles from the sun convert some of the comet's gases into ions, forming an ion tail. Since comets' tails are shaped by sunlight and the solar wind, they are always pointing away from the sun. Comet tails may spray planets, as was the case in 2013 with the comet sliding spring in Mars. At first glance, comets and asteroids may appear very similar. The difference lies in the presence of the coma and tail. Sometimes a comet may be misidentified as an asteroid before follow-up observations reveal the presence of either or both of these features. The nuclei of most comets are thought to measure 10 miles, 16 kilometers, or less. Some comets have comas that can reach nearly 1 million miles, 1.6 million kilometers wide, and some have tails reaching 100 million miles, 160 million kilometers long. We can see a number of comets with the naked eye when they pass close to the sun because their comas and tails reflect sunlight or even glow because of energy. They absorb the sun, however. Most comets are too small or faint to be seen without a telescope. Comets leave a trail of debris behind them that can lead to meteor showers on Earth. For instance, the Perseid meteor shower occurs every year between August 9th and 13th, when Earth passes through the orbit of the Swift-Tuttle comet. Naming. In general, comets are named after their discoverer. For example, Comet Shoemaker Levi 9 got its name because it was the 9th short periodic comet discovered by Eugene and Caroline Shoemaker and David Levi. Spacecraft have proven very effective at spotting comets as well as the names of many comets incorporate the names of missions such as Soho or WISE.
Questions. But one question lies. Can you repeat the comets and discoveries again?
In antiquity, comets inspire both awe and alarm. Hairy stars resembling fiery swords that appeared unpredictable in the sky. Often comets seem to be omens of doom. The most ancient known mythology, the Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh described fire, brimstone, and in antiquity, comets inspired both awe and alarm. Hairy stars resembling fiery swords that appeared unpredictable in the sky. Often comets seem to be omens of doom, the most ancient known mythology. The Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh described fire, brimstone, and flood with the arrival of a comet. And the Roman Emperor Nero saved himself from the curse of the comet by having all possible successors to his throne executed. But in 1577, observers made by Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe revealed they actually traveled far beyond the moon. Isaac Newton later discovered that comets move in elliptical, oval-shaped orbits around the sun, and correctly predicted that they could return again and again.
Famous comets.
Some of the famous comets are called Halley's Comet. Is likely the most famous comet in the world, even depicted in the Bayeux Tapestry that chronicled the Battle of Hastings in 1066. It becomes visible to the naked eye every 76 years when it nears the sun. When Halley's Comet zoomed near Earth in 1986, 5 spacecraft flew past it and gathered unpredicted details, coming close enough to study its nucleus, which is normally concealed by the comet's coma. The roughly potato-shaped 9-mile-long, 15-kilometer comet contains equal parts ice and dust, with some 80% of the ice made of water and about 15% of it consisting. Talking about asteroids is now my partner, Dr. P.
What's up, guys? Alright, as you have known, Dr. L said that both asteroids and comets were formed 4.5 billion years ago. But since his comet is farther away from the sun, my asteroid is actually closer to the sun, where it was warm for the ice to remain solid. Now, asteroids are a rocky world revolving around the sun. They are too small to be called planets, and there are millions of asteroids ranging in size, from hundreds of miles to several feet across. In total, the mass of all the asteroids is less than that of Earth's moon.
The comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 collided spectacularly with Jupiter in 1994, with the giant planet's gravitational pull ripping the comet apart for at least 21 visible impacts. The largest collision created a fireball that rose about 1,800 miles, 3,000 kilometers, above the Jovian cloud tops, as well as a giant dark spot more than 7,460 miles, about 12,000 kilometers across this, about the size of Earth, and was estimated to have exploded with a force of 6,000 gigatons of TNT.
Speak a little loud.
Recently, a highly visible comet was Hale-Bopp, which came within 122 million miles, 197 million kilometers of Earth in 97. Its unusually large nucleus gave off a great deal of dust and gas, estimated at roughly 18 to 25 miles, 30 to 40 kilometers across, appeared bright to the naked eye. Comet Ison was expected to give a spectacular show in 2013. However, the sun grazer did not survive its close encounter with the sun and was destroyed in December.
Despite their size, asteroids can be dangerous. Many have hit Earth in the past, and more will in the future. That's the one reason scientists and are eager to study more about asteroids and learn more about their numbers, orbits, and physical characters. If an asteroid is headed our way, we want to know that. Now, some formation of asteroids are left over from the formation of our solar system about 4.5 billion years ago. Early on, the birth of Jupiter prevented any planetary bodies from forming in the gap between Mars and Jupiter, causing the small objects that were there to collide with each other and fragment into asteroids today. Now, some physical characteristics. Asteroids can reach as large as a Ceres, which is 940 kilometers, and about 583 miles across. On the other hand of the scale, the smallest asteroid ever studied in the 6-foot wide, 2-meter space rock 2015 was the TC-25, which was observed when it was made a close flyby of Earth in October 2015. The chance of hitting the Earth in the foreseeable future are small. Vishnu Reddy of the University of Arizona Lunar and Planetary Laboratory said in a statement, "You can think of an asteroid as a meteorite floating in space that hasn't hit the atmosphere and made it to the ground yet." Nearly all asteroids are irregularly shaped, although a few of the largest are nearly spherical, such as Ceres. They are often pitted or created. For instance, Vesta has a giant crater some 285 miles or 460 km in diameters. The surface of most asteroids, as thought, can be covered in dust. As asteroids revolve around the Sun in elliptic orbits, they rotate, sometimes tumbling quite irrational. More than 150 asteroids are also known to have small companion moon, with some having 2 moons. Binary or double asteroids also exist, in which 2 asteroids of roughly equal size orbit each other. The third asteroid systems are known as well. Many asteroids seemingly have been captured by a planet's gravity and become moons, like Canada, including Mars, Moon, Phobos, and Deimos, and most of outer moon of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The average temperature on the surface of a typical asteroid is a minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 73 degrees Celsius. Asteroids have stayed mostly unchanged for billions of years. As such, research into them could reveal a great deal about early solar systems. Asteroids can come in variation of shapes and sizes. Some are solid bodies, while others are similar piles of rubble bounded together by gravity, which orbit the Sun between Neptune and Uranus. Come with its own set of rings. Another has not 1 but 6 tails. Now there are different types of asteroids. There's the C-type or carbon-cuscus asteroid, which are gray in color and most common, including more than 75% of known asteroids. The probability consists of clay and stone silicoid rocks and inhabit the main belt on the outer region. Now another type is the S-type or silicous asteroid, which are greenish to reddish in color, and they are 17% of known asteroids and dominate the inner asteroid belt. They appear to be made of silicate material and nickel ion. And then there's the last but not least, the M-type or metallic asteroid. Are reddish in color, made up most of the rest of the asteroids, and dwell in the middle region of the main belt. They seem to be made up of nickel ion. There are many other rare types based on composition as well. For instance, the V-type asteroid, typified by Vesta, have ballistic volcanic crust. Now, the Earth impact, ever since Earth formed about 5 billion years ago, asteroids and comets have routinely slammed into this planet. The most dangerous asteroids are extremely rare, according to NASA. An asteroid capable of global disaster would have to be more than a quarter mile wide. The researchers have estimated that such an impact would raise enough to disturb dust in the atmosphere to effectively create a nuclear winter, severely distributing agricultural around the world. Asteroids that large to strike Earth only once every 1,000 centuries. An average NASA official says similar asteroids that are believed to strike Earth every 1,000 to 10,000 years could destroy a city or cause devastation, a tsunami, or more. According to NASA, space rocks smaller than 82 feet or 25 meters will mostly likely to burn up as they enter the Earth's atmosphere, which means that even if 2015 TC-25 hit the Earth, it probably won't make it to the ground. An asteroid, now on February 15, 2013, an asteroid slammed the atmosphere over Russia, city of Chelyabinsk, creating a shockwave that injured 1,200 people. The space rock is thought to have measured about 65 feet, 20 meters wide, which it entered the Earth's atmosphere. When the asteroid or part of it crashes into the Earth, it's called a meteorite. Here are typical composition. There are iron meteorites, which is 90% iron and 80.5% nickel and 0.6% cobalt. And there's stony meteorites, which has oxygen that's 6%, iron that's 26%, and silicon that's 18%, and magnesium that's 14%, and aluminum that's 1.5%, and nickel that is 1.4%, and calcium that is 1.3%. Now, asteroids defense. Dozens of asteroids have been classified as potentially hazardous by the scientists who track them, like me, for example. Some of these who orbited comes too close enough to Earth and could potentially be perturbed in the distance of future and sent on a collision course with our planet. Now, as for us, like scientists, point out that if an asteroid is found to be on a collision course with Earth 30 or 40 years down the road, there is time to react. Due to the technology we would have on it